Okay guys, this is John from Easy Motors. We're going to do the periodic maintenance on the transmission on a Mule Pro FXT 1000 2024. This is going to apply to all your 2024 Mule Pro FXT LE base model, not Eddie Bauer, the King Ranch style, the new 1000 motor in it. The maintenance is slightly different than in previous years. Mine happens to look like this. Yours might be a different color. Just to go over briefly, this is you're going to need 2.1 quarts of this right here. It's SAE 8090 gear oil. You can pick this up at your local Kawasaki dealer, or you can probably find it online somewhere, although you're going to probably have to pay shipping online, which could be cheaper depending on where you're located in accordance to a Kawasaki dealer. But you're going to need 2.1 quarts. So normally what I do is I'll buy 3 quarts, and that way I do my front differential at the same time, which that only takes a half a quart, and this will take just slightly over 2 quarts. So I'll do the front final gear at the same time, which I have a video on that also, which is a previous video to this one. But what you're going to want to do is remove this cap right here. It goes here. I'm at the rear of the machine. That is going to be, I believe it is 14 millimeter Allen head. So I used half-inch ratchet, small extension, and a 14 millimeter Allen head. You may have to buy this. If you're not going to use it all the time, I would say probably just go to your local hardware store or family farm or farm store in your location and get something. This is kind of what mine looks like. It's some of the bigger ones that I didn't have, so this was a relatively cheap set. But if you're going to do your maintenance on your own machine, it's something you're going to have. So I removed that. There is an O-ring on that, and they recommend either replacing that, and at the very least, if you do apply it back on, put a little bit of grease around that O-ring. Let me double check the torque spec on that. It is going to be 15 foot-pounds on that. 15 foot-pounds, and this is your gear oil that you're going to need, which I've already showed you that. This picture here is where you have to fill it. That is actually the inside of the transmission. It's very hard to see, but I will show you that better as best as I can. So first you're going to want to warm up your machine. I recommend warming up your machine, getting everything warmed up, and then bringing it in, putting the pan down below here at the rear. And let's see if we can find this thing. Right there. So this is at the rear of the machine, and that's going to be let me double check the size here for you. $17 millimeter. That's going to be a 17 millimeter. Neither one of these were that tight. Like I said, the torque specs both on the drain bolt for the transmission and the fill cap are both 15 foot-pounds of torque. 15 foot-pounds of torque, so that's not very much. The bottom transmission bolt, it does have a crush ring on it, and it usually comes off and falls right in the oil. So you have to dig that out, or be careful when you're taking it off, and you can grab it before it falls in the oil. They do recommend replacing that crush ring, but if you don't, like if it's your first service and it's not very old and it doesn't look bad, you can probably reuse it. You can probably get those offline or at your local Kawasaki dealer. They're pretty standard. So what you want to do, and this is the confusing part about this, is you want to put, after you put your drain plug back in, here's your fill, and it is very hard to see, but I'm going to see if I can show this to you. Yeah, there's a little line in there. It's in the casting, and you want to fill it at least up to there and not over top of it. So mine is, it's very hard to see, but I've already filled mine. Mine took just a little over two quarts, probably the 2.1, 2.2 quarts of the gear oil, and it filled it up to that. I don't know if you can see that line in there, but the book doesn't really describe this very well. So you're going to want to fill it at least up to that line and anywhere in between, but do not overfill it. You don't want to go above that. Mine, it's hard to see. I am right in the middle of it, and that's where I want to keep mine. But it's hard to see with this, with the camera and the light and so forth. But then after you're done doing that, you're going to want to apply a little bit of grease. Mine happens to be red, but grease on that O-ring, or replace the O-ring. Either way, you're going to want to put grease around it. Put this on, and you're going to want to torque this with your Allen head and a torque wrench to about 15 pounds of torque. Which is not very much, and you also have the O-ring in there also. But this was pretty simple, and they follow your periodic maintenance. You do have to change this at your first 20 hours, and then it every year basically after that, or it does give you an hour limit, but unless you're putting a lot of miles on it, it's probably going to be once a year type maintenance. But even at 20 hour service, this is how dirty it was. So I did not see any flakes, metal flakes or anything like that in it. It's just, you know, you can still see through it, but it's dirty. So I would definitely recommend doing it for sure at your 20-hour service, and then at least every year after that of service, unless you're putting a lot of hours on it. And hopefully this helps somebody out. Like and subscribe. I got a couple other videos out there. I didn't see a whole lot on the brand new 2024 FXTs out there. I seen previous models, the 2022s and 2023 previous models, which are some pretty good maintenance videos, but nothing on the 2024s. And these are totally different. They got a new engine, new transmission in them. The maintenance is a little different on these. They're basically the same, but they are different. Things are in a little bit different location and so forth, but maybe this will help somebody out. Like and subscribe. You guys have a good week. Thanks.